Rafiq. Do you think we can do that? Are you ready? Hi. So
I,
can I formally begin the session?
I think yeah, you can. Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's do that. I request all the participants to stay on mute so that we can hear architect Rafiq very clearly. So let's begin. Hello, everyone. It is a great pleasure to host more than 20 colleges and offices across India. I am Nikita Verma from Ethos and ASEDGE, an online platform to connect learners in architecture, construction, engineering, and design with the best in pedagogy and practice from across the globe. Not many of you know that ASEDGE was founded by Geeta Balakrishnan on August 15, 2018. Since then, we have conducted over 50 online courses and lectures and assisted architectural design studios in colleges by bringing practices like Biome Solutions, Shift Studio from Delhi, MOAD Chennai, CCBA, Elam Manjunath to mentor students. Today, we have gathered here at this online room with architect Rafiq to think that we are connected just by jumping electrons emitting the binary codes from different parts of India, Vishakhapatnam, Surat, Bangalore, Mysore, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Punjab, Cuttack, Jaipur, Noida, Lucknow, Thrissur, Kolkata. From Pakistan, we have Multan and Rawalpindi and Colombo in Sri Lanka, and architect Mohammad Rafiq, of course, from Bangladesh in the east. This is nothing but the magic of internet. Internet makes experts and ideas accessible and literally reduces distance to bring people together. Sense and Sensibility, as we call it SNS, is a lecture series by ASEDGE to give institutions access to expert viewpoints from across the globe. These experts demonstrate through their choices, experiments, and lessons multiple advantages of developing and exploring design. This is about integration and the big picture. We seek to dishevel the older notions of compartmentalization of knowledge and introduce learners across the country to collaborative and interdisciplinary studies. Today's session will begin with an introduction to architect Mohammad Rafiq, his talk followed by a moderated question and answer round. We would request all the participants to type their questions from 11:30 a.m. so we can moderate it. The session will close with a vote of thanks and request to view our other offerings on ASEDGE. After which, we will open it up for a one-on-one discussion and interaction for another 20 minutes, where participants may raise their hand as demonstrated in the trial sessions to speak with Architect Azam. Without much ado, I hand over the mic to Geeta to introduce Architect Mohammad Rafiq Azam.
Thank you, Nikita. Good morning, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here and a delight to have architect Rafiq Azam amidst us today. He will be talking about interdisciplinary practices. The title of his talk, Phenomenal Practice and Thought-Provoking Explorations in the Field of Architecture and Recent Urban Interventions, does justice to this belief. He believes that architecture is a blend of science and art, where neither is mutually exclusive nor more important than the other. The key points of today's discussion include humanity, climate, water, green, light, physical structure, and material to understand the possibilities and limitations of an architectural endeavor. Mohammad Rafiq Azam is one of the internationally acclaimed architects from Bangladesh, practicing for 27 years and has developed a remarkable style of his own. His practice is named SHATOTTO Architecture for Green Living since May 1995. In 2004, Rafiq Azam participated in the Glen Murcutt Masterclass and has been selected as one of the 10 emerging designers of the world by Urban Land, USA in 2008. As a visiting faculty, he has taught at the National University of Singapore, NED Karachi, Jadavpur University, India, BRAC University, University of Asia Pacific, North-South University, Dhaka, Asanullah University of Science and Technology in Dhaka. He's won a line of national and international awards for his architectural contribution, such as the Arcasia Gold Medal, World Architecture Festival Award, Cityscape Global Award, Berger Excellence Award, the Leaf Award, Malaysia Property Award, the EDGE PAM Green Excellence Award 2015, World Architecture Community Award. He was a finalist at the Aga Khan Awards, IAB Award, and the South Asia Architecture Award, to name a few. The few itself is quite a long list. He has served as an international juror and has attracted media all around the world. I've had the fortune of hearing him speak here when I invited him, as well as at a couple of other places, including Dhaka recently at the Acacia. His poetic and lyrical style, not only in his work, but also in his oration, made me really want to share his ability to connect with people through the Sense and Sensibility lecture series. And here we are. Over to you, Rafiq. And
Thank you. Thank you, Geeta. Amazing. I'm really amazed to see how you have created this fantastic wave of connection, the world, all around the world almost, you know. Amazing. Thank you very much. I'm so honored to be here today in the morning. Everybody, good morning. I think I would like to share, I would like to help from Lorian Architect. Beside me, she will can connect the screen so I can share some of the the slides for others, for all of you. So I can start talking on my slides. So how to connect? Yes, yeah. Okay, thank you, Lorian, please. Yeah. So everybody can hear me, I think.
yes, yes, very,
Okay,
very
great, very clear. So I just tried to tell something like architecture. We talk about a lot. I think architecture is a lot of things together, but basically it's a responsibility and ends up with the poetry. If architecture is not very poetic, not physical, it's actually not a piece of art then. But of course, it is a huge responsibility together. So I like this, huh? Down. Okay. So I talk about a bit of old city Dhaka. You know, Dhaka is very old. It's of course thousands years, more than 1,000 years old city. But Mughal started as a capital city in 400 years back, and it was really it is indeed a very colorful city with different culture and community working living together, and we have a lot of festivals in Dhaka also. The Sakrain, you know, kite festival. But unfortunately, thank you. So unfortunately, you know, if you see now the situation of Dhaka is gradually devastated by huge population and, you know, the wrong sort of design, not understanding a city properly, and so many things together is and not understanding the water, not understanding the culture, lack of proper education, and so many things. And we can see such a mess in Dhaka as a mayhem basically. And we have a fantastic rain, you know. So the result of the rain is a curse for us, not a celebration. And we have hazards also. You see, devastated by fire, very recent phenomena. But the idea of architect, you know, to see as an architect, I would like to see our children is going to school by walking safely, happily, alone or group of friends together going to the school. That's the beauty of a city. But our cities are so inhuman. We cannot actually walk in the city alone. Women cannot walk, girls cannot walk, children cannot walk. Vulnerable people, you know, this different level people, nobody can walk in the city. So what kind of city we're actually living in? So that's really painful for us. So I would like to share one project recently we have just completed, and in all over Dhaka, you know, particularly south, the old part of Dhaka, we have number of open spaces, supposed to be a green field, a park or playground for the children, and most of them are actually illegally occupied. And those are no truck stand and drug addict people's safe haven, and you know, nobody can go there. Social space completely occupied in other ways, you know. So government have taken a good initiative. The mayor of the city, they said almost 31 parks and playground needs to be revitalized. How to do that, you know? So one of the project we started thinking like how to proceed. Why this for last 40, 50 years, we fail to create space for the community. Why all vandalized? Why there's no grass? Why the water logging is happening? Why the I mean, the business people are occupying that? All illegal occupations, why is happening actually? And very recent photograph, just quickly I'm sharing. And this last Eid al-Fitr, the Muslim festival, Bangladesh is, it's a predominantly Muslim community. So they are offering prayer in the same field, but the story how it started actually. This is the field of, I think it's 2016 photograph. And we found the reason behind is basically we try to, the politician with a positive note, they try probably to protect this thing with putting fences and walls around and gates and locks to tell people that it's open from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the evening. All this protection actually is protected, not the green, but protected actually the illegal activities and unsocial activities inside, because general people thought, no, we cannot go inside because there's a restriction, there's a wall, there is a bird wire, but you'll all actually fail to protect the green. It protect all the other things. So how it happened actually? We try to understand that if you remove all the walls, you make it open. This is semiology. You open up, you tell people that we respect you. Particularly, yeah, particularly, is anything? I continue, Gita? Hello?
Yeah, don't, yeah, we've muted these. Sometimes when they unmute themselves, there may be some disturbance. We'll continue.
Oh, okay, no problem. I understand. So we found that the old part is based on trust and respect. Old Dhaka particularly, historically, they believe each other, they have trust to each other. But when we start designing, anywhere you go, we started with the boundary wall. We start with disbelief, disrespect, distrust. This is how we start the design. So it's a huge conflict between community and design, basically. So we started knocking down the walls. We suggested there shouldn't be any wall, any barrier. Let people know. Tell the people that we respect you, trust you. You are allowed. It's owned by you actually. It's not the city corporation's asset premise. It's yours. You own it actually. So we must allow you that you can come anytime you feel like. So knocking down actually the walls, the first thing. And then there's another big problem. After the sociological problem, there is a physical problem, is the water logging. Because Bangladesh is, huge rain. Dhaka is almost 70 inches of rain. I mean, 2,500 millimeter rain coming every monsoon. Huge amount of water, but we neglect. It's stagnant in the field, middle of the field. It destroy all the greeneries, and the mosquito and dengue, all waterborne diseases, is taking place. So it's making our life hell. So rain is no more is a pain in our country. It should be a celebration basically. So we thought we must use the rainwater. We collect the rainwater. So we created trench actually all around. You can see it's all around trench which can collect all the almost here 500,000 liter of water we collect, and which actually we are recycling also by filtering, and we are drinking the same water. We have created beside the field a small coffee shop and gym and small sort of coffee and library, because these are the things that we try to inclusive all the people. The small kid coming, they have a space. The adults are coming, the old people are coming, they can walk, they can run, and the football player, hockey player, cricket player, they can come. Everybody, the people doing nothing, just having cup of coffee or reading book or going to the gym or nothing, just strolling around, sitting around, talking, beating bush. Everybody is inclusive here, where it was for none earlier, only for the naughty peoples only. So this is, you can see, is the green field, all technically sound. the technologically sound, actually all the water, groundwater recharge, and all the pipes taking the water, finally the edges around the collecting water, which is we are filtering now. So these are the techniques, where the water going and the detail of the grass. And this is the trench we created. And thing is that on top of the trench, there is a slabs, 250 kg slab we precasted and then placed here properly. So we can walk on that and we can remove it when required and clean it up when required. So it's not something that you have to break and make it happen again. The maintenance is a big issue also. So these are the slabs we produce at our site. And then what it was earlier, illegally occupied and things now same field. We can see the people are coming, particularly women. They were really suffering. They couldn't come out actually. The Muslims community is little bit reserved, so they just cannot come out every time. So they need safety, they need security, they need very nice quality of social space. So this is what happened in old city, very old photograph in an old part of Dhaka. You see, there's no such a boundary wall, no barbed wire, no telling people that you are my enemy, I don't trust you. And other people from the street, they don't tell also that we don't trust you also. How you made the money, we all know, all illegal way of black monies and things like that. So the dialogue is conversation is very unhealthy. But in old city, the street was like a theatrical space. Some sounds coming, somebody is selling something, somebody is sitting or talking to each other. So this is very, social space. Every house in front is social space. So this was, if you have put a wall against the same field, you can see the wall. So wall also, instigate things like you have a backdrop, so you can create some a temporary shades, and you can start do your business or staying there. So it instigate also something. So we simply remove the wall, and that will tell you not to do something over there, and it's a public place. It's occupied owned by the community people now. So now we also tried that vegetation, improve the vegetation in a way that not only kids are coming here, butterfly also coming here. So we can see how many trees in the bottom. You see the flowers and the fruits we have planted, so the children can pluck the fruit and they can have the experience. They can create the memories of, of living. They pluck the fruit and they eat themselves at the very fresh. No, anything has done with the fruit. It's a very fresh fruit. And the butterfly is also coming, so they can run under butterfly. They should not run after the drugs. They should run after the butterfly. That is our motto in this sort of project. And now the things are happening, interesting. Now we see the girls are coming out, which is very significant, I think, in our society. We thought the adolescent girl, they're all lost, they're gone, they don't exist in the community, And if they come out, they're just, we look at them in a different way. So this, now you see, they're all coming out very naturally and playing with all others. And the coffee shop, for the gathering, it's up to 2 o'clock in the morning is open nowadays, we can see. And when there is no one playing at the field, but a lot of people actually having cup of coffee, and their eyes are actually sort of surveillance also. So around the clock is open basically, but it's also some sort of guarded by or volunteered by the community and their eyes. So evening time. So how to maintain these things actually? We develop the community maintenance team, which is coming out from all the surrounded house, the players, the politicians, the poet, the musician, and the businessman, the architects and engineers, and the city corporation engineers, all together, we are now, we have a very fantastic committee. who runs this, the greeneries and the whole premise, and what's the source of money? Because we told the community, DSCC, I mean the city corporation, that you are not going to fund actually. After 1 year, you're lost, you're gone, you're no more, the money is coming. Then again, it will be devastated. So this community, I mean the coffee shop and the gym and the bank booth we have created. So these are all contributing the finance for this green space, and that's run by the committee. So there is two things important: is who the people will be running and the source of money. These two things we have developed through our design, so it runs properly. The maintenance would be much more easier and sustainable. So now you see, instead of the naughty drug dealers are coming out, all the guitar people are coming out, the musicians are coming out, all the community people sort of coming out, and they're having fun. And you see from outside the street, this becomes the bench, like the old city. The I think in Kolkata they call it. I think Otla. I think in Ahmedabad they say Otla. We say Mayor. In Kolkata something else they say. But the same thing, we allow people to come out and share themselves with the green spaces, social spaces. So our city is a social city. It's not a city for the capitalists or the only politicians. So this is what is happening now. So I'll go another small project, very small, in a community-based project. There's no way to come to this space by any vehicle, sort of. You have to walk. And this small park, completely vandalized by, everything doing, everybody they feel like, except the purpose of the park is not there actually. Nobody's coming, the children are not coming. So this is how you need to go to the park, where it is monsoon. This is also very rare, I mean, very painful, and it's not monsoon also painful. So this is life, we should not be our life actually. And this is in front of the park, we call it a park, this space. Nobody can come here basically, the vehicle cannot come here. But even then it looks like a road and it's occupied by, illegally. And this is what's happening when monsoon comes. This is last 50 years this is happening and no solution. And this is how this is very emotional photograph for me when I see a little girl is still going to school, she's not giving up actually. That we should do, everybody, we shouldn't give up. And she's going to school, she wants to be learned, but we fail to give them a proper way so they can walk to the school nicely. So what we have done, you can see the immediate photograph. This is what the same road we have developed finally. After all the struggle, we come to this point. There's no more water. The water are all utilized properly. Now we drink the water. I mean, most of the water except few water, which is mixed up with the sewer and other things, which is separated properly. So same road we can see, we knock down, the story comes up, we have started all the negotiations and meeting with the community people. The mosque was there, so we talked to the mosque people. We talked to the young generation, angry young generation. We need to make them understand, and they should make them us understand what needs to be done. And then the community people, same road you have seen just a little bit earlier, same road, we had a long meeting, one after another meeting, and community public hearing also. So we finally came up these sort of things, and this is the plan. You see all the water connected in the trench, under the trench, which is the walkway basically, and there's the old building refurbished with the library, gym, and public hall and things like that. It was illegally occupied by the political party people. It was very tough to, I mean, it's difficult to kick them out from the building, but we did that finally. And it was there's no grass. This is becoming like a, the reality and the dream is two completely different. You see the grass, it should be a grass, in dream, if it is a park or playground, but when you open up your eyes, you see not a single grass. Is the reality. This is too much actually. We need to close down the reality and the dream as much as possible, close. So this trench is happening as earlier. Now the grass is growing up, coming up, and this is our idea. Is almost we are closing down this scenario. So this is what the boundary wall was. unnecessarily, which created a lot of problem. Beside the inside boundary walls, all garbage, outside is illegally occupied. And this, I think, historical photograph we dismantle. We can build walls in the city, number of walls every day people are building, architects are building, but dismantling wall from the community is very difficult. It's not dismantling the wall, it's all the barriers in your mind actually you are dismantling. So that was difficult. So now it's open completely, and all the illegal shops is gone the other side. Actually, they are illegal, now they're legal because they have rented out the other side house, ground floors, and they're paying money, so they become also legal. What it was earlier, and then is absolutely no water and all utilized properly. We actually incorporated, I mean, the participation of the children of every park we are doing. We are doing almost 19 parks like this and playgrounds. So every time we invite children to come and plant themselves, so they can really share and care their ideas and their work. Now, so similar, another park we are doing, it has wonderful royal palm trees, but rest, as usual, the walls you can't see even from the street. There's open space. So we just opened it up from the street. We created the walkways, the promenade, so people can cross, because we think there's open space. Every day we should go through. This is no more a destination nowadays. We used to go to park earlier. I'm going to the park weekdays every morning or weekends. But we think no, park should something like that. Every day, every time you feel like you go through, you cross the park to go to the other side of the city. So it's not a destination anymore. It's a way to the destination also. So this is how we can actually engage the community to make it sustainable. So this is what we can see, the green. And now we see the children are coming out and playing, which is, I think, one of the most beautiful thing I can see now. So we have other things. Just quickly, this was originally, any park I go, you go in Dhaka city, it will be like this. And we are making things like very green. And if you see the water body, similarly, it is dumping ground. I think in India also, in Pakistan, and I think, I don't know in Sri Lanka, but I'm sure in India and Pakistan, we see the greenery is mostly like dumping ground. So we are clearing up all those things. We are engaging people. And this is, we are doing a crematorium also beside the water body. So all together, there is a mazar and mosque, it's a very, I mean, communal coherence, living together nicely. That needs to be done through good design also. So this is what we are doing now, the crematorium, the mazar, and the play field, and the water body, promenade, all these things together. This is the mosque we have just recently completed. This is the significant thing, is that this is the first mosque, I mean, we have done for the city corporation. The city corporation has a very bad name. I said they lack reputation. They are bad designer, bad constructor. They're all political. They are, I mean, they don't use money properly. So corruption is there heavily. So nothing can be done properly. So all the bad names they're carrying. So when we started, we challenged them that you have potentials actually, and you have to uplift yourself in a way that people start trusting you. Otherwise, you cannot do good work without trust. So this is the graveyard behind, and the mosque in front of the graveyard, and the road is on the south and graveyard on the north. So we have created a threshold space in between, which is a courtyard sort of, like a Mughal mosque, because there is a very famous Mughal mosque, 400 years old, nearby. So we are very much inspired by the Mughal mosque. So that Shan, the forecourt, is actually connecting the terrestrial, the road, and the celestial, the heavenly things to the other side, the silent. So the noise, the other side, one side, and the other side is silent, is connected by the threshold, which is Shan, preparing space for the mosque. So this is the road, the south, the terrestrial, the noisy space, and the other side, the silence. So that connected by the courtyard. And you are entering to the courtyard actually in the threshold space, in between the terrestrial and celestial, where you can actually look both the sides and can think who you are and what needs to be done. And the courtyard and the mosque inside, inside the mosque, the mihrab is light is coming from the top, and the floor is glass. It's like representing the water, the most magical material represented by, because there's a sense of purity, and the light also. So the imam's place is the most pure and heavenly space where he will lead all the other people for the prayer. And the space where you can read Quran or any other holy scripts if you like. And the wudu is ablution is very important. I think everywhere you have to wash yourself mentally and physically. So that's the space touched by light. And the space, small space for very informal space for the women praying space, which needs a lot of, jali or parda, screen. So we did one graveyard, which I think when I started working on a small family graveyard, I was thinking that what does it mean actually? So death is something like, to me, is traveling from terrestrial to celestial. There's a line actually. If you cross the line, immediately you are no more alive. You are entering to the other world, which is silent. So you stretch the wall. You can create a window which actually connecting and dividing the two parts, celestial and terrestrial. So there's a plan where it's in a betel nut tree, lot of betel nut tree, and the aid. So setup was very interesting. So this is the watercolor of the, the sense of the area, the context. So we created a simple concrete aperture, which actually connecting the terrestrial and celestial, and also dividing the terrestrial and celestial. So that's become a threshold space. In between space, where I can go, where you can go and sit, and that's a thinking space. You can think what you have done, what needs to be done, what is tomorrow for you, what is the meaning of life, and what is the meaning of finishing the life or ending the life. So in the morning, it has interesting, attachment with the light and the context, and with the turn evening, it has a different sort of emotion and ambience actually, but it's still waiting for us to be there and finally, ends our life in the nicest possible way. So I think the silence, very important thing. Jalaluddin Rumi, 12th century philosopher, poet, says, silence is the language of God, and rest all are poor translations. So whatever we say, whatever we do, is all pure, all poor translations of the mighty creator, but the silence is actually a creator's language. So I'll go a little bit of fun thing actually, from serious to fun. This is the Thimphu Bhutan embassy. Just we are started. The construction will start very soon, few months. When I went there, it is a magical. Bhutan is a magical country surrounded by Himalayas, and Himalayas is a long story. I mean, it's a layer of stories and layer of stories and colors and connections with the cosmos, and the ground is connecting the up world and the ground world properly grounded. And this is what is happening there. A beautiful place, beautiful people, and they have wonderful valleys, and it's like your thoughts is going through the valleys like a river, and they have a beautiful white color things, contrast coming out from the backdrop. So we started sketching, Himalaya. Our side is also very close to one of the Himalayan part, which is very green. Interestingly, that's the play context we are working with. And this is what we started thinking of. The Himalaya is something is actually creating all the rivers that we are enjoying nowadays. And all the Himalayan rivers, this side, our side, is actually ended up with Bay of Bengal. That's the destination. Last point is Bay of Bengal. But we try to create something very close to the Himalaya, fit the Bay of Bengal, a piece of water body which we call Bay of Bengal, and want to tell Himalaya that this is the Bay of Bengal you have created, you have never seen. So now we are putting it in front of you, at the feet of you, to honor you, to tell you that we are all obliged, we are all very proud and happy to have you and have your water, which may save our life. So that's the water body. A piece of water body from the distance we'll see is connected to the water body is just infinity water body connected to the feet of the Himalayas. So this is what we are actually trying to build over there. You know, the Bhutanese project cannot be contemporary, cannot be something else. They have some rules and regulations we have to follow, and it should be, I mean, promote the beauty of Bhutanese architecture language, maybe a bit of abstract way, but we cannot go away from those language and their interpretations. This is in Pakistan, another embassy building in Islamabad we are doing. That is interesting. We have also 1 kilometer away the one of the fantastic, I mean, Regal Margala Hill facing western side of our project, which is amazing actually, unbelievable. So we have created very humble, low, flat, long, like Bangladesh, flat country, flat project, flat building against the vertical Margala to make it a very contrast and humble to each other and signify both of them equal in an equal manner. And this is what Margala and this is Bangladesh is all water, flat. And then we actually trying to understand what's the connection between Pakistan and Bangladesh. As you know, we have a very big fight between Bangladesh and Pakistan in 71, and 3 million people was killed. So we thought, what else is the connection between us? So we found finally 5,000 years Indus Valley civilization in Pakistan. And if you see, Bangladesh is Mahastangor or Mainamatik or Buddhist monasteries, all brick buildings, very similar actually. This same sort of vibe, the language we can see in both the historical development. So the great civilization, both we have actually, we created a archaeological landscape over there to connect both the great civilization together. So our land has become a meeting ground of two great civilizations together and celebrates our civilization. So we can look forward for better and better relationship in future. So this is what is archaeological sort of sense. So we have used the Lahore brick basically to weave the whole project, and the undulations, the land we are utilizing to create the ambience of archaeology. And only the 500 feet long, the parasol, the super roof created to cover up the deltaic condition in the middle of the two, I mean, High Commissioner's house and the office in between the water body, which is collected from the rain, because they have a wonderful rain, 48 inches, 50 inches of rain in Islamabad also. So now shallow water body which actually reflecting Bangladesh and making the whole area bit cool and not allowing the heat in 52 degrees Celsius, not allowing the evaporation going up, rather is circulating in between to create the moisture, to reduce the air condition consumptions and things like that, to make it more sustainable. This is Aga Khan Academy project we just going on now in Dhaka. We're working with jointly with FCBS, British famous British firm. This is what we have developed, because we have thousands of monasteries, Buddhist monasteries, with all universities basically. In Nalanda in Kolkata, near Kolkata in West Bengal, is another university similar to us. So we have history of education. Bengalis and Bangladesh have history of education, thousands of years. So our school will teach not only the books, they should teach our history, our archaeology, our civilization from the scratch to the future also. So we wanted to incorporate all the senses. So our design, we call it didactic, not only the classrooms, but the whole environment is actually teaching you the who you are actually. So this is very similar to the archaeological sites, middle the courtyard and the monks' houses all around, similar something. All the classrooms and I mean the academics and the sports facilities and housings are together, is surrounded by. So this is what is from the street we can see, and this another courtyard. So we have series of courtyards actually: senior school courtyard, junior school courtyard, play group courtyard, middle year program courtyard. So this is all about courtyards because these are the undefined space where you can do everything possible in our society. And tropical country, it should be like that. So this is in Malaysia, one project we just completed a few years back completed. This company is a very, I mean, aggressive actually. They are the developer company. They're very aggressive and they're the biggest company in Malaysia. So we wanted to create something a bit of aggressive, you know, all the columns are 11-story high and facing the main highway. So from the distance, even you can sense their presence in a very strong way. And this formality, the columns, basically based is coming out the idea from Greek and Roman structures. You know, the expression of power. So we wanted to relate, but of course it is a tropical country, very much tropical. So the parasol, the super roof also is actually representing the tropical issues. The courtyard to the upper floor. This is the master plan. Oh, Bangladesh is very interesting. It's a threshold, you know, in between tropical and not tropical. So that's why you have 6 seasons. You know, we are very anything in between is very threshold, is very vulnerable and you know fragile. If you see the in the early morning, I mean twilight. Twilight is actually very beautiful, vulnerable, sensitive, and very small because it connects and divides day and night. So anything connects and divide in between, very sensitive and vulnerable and very beautiful. So Bangladesh is a very beautiful country collecting water from Himalayas and also rain coming from Kerala point, and this ended up Cherrapunji, and we are collecting huge amount of water. So is a country is a the Ganges plain. It's a lot of water collecting area. This one. So our design should be hydrological. Bangladesh is a country of hydrology. So we must talk about hydrology. So that's why you know the Bangladesh is a country of poetry. I think how it poetic because when monsoon comes, you know, it inundates two-thirds of the country's land. Depicting water is a major element of landscape. But when water recedes, gradually it leaves a fine layer of alluvial soil and entire landscape transforms into large patches of paddy fields and then dancing with the winds. So this is how we do architecture, you know, very hydrological, very moist, you know, very reflective, you know, sky, green and wind all together, you know. So this is another house just completed just a few years back, uh, the courtyard. It's another long back house, old gallery. So the light is stretching, you know, The days goes down, the light stretches and stretches to last light to twilight. And after the dark light, when the first light touches the land and water, it turns into watercolor again. Watercolor turns into architecture. Architecture is touched by the land, light. It becomes mystic. So Lalon is one person who is, 17th century, 18th century philosopher who says if there is something not inside your body, then it is not outside the body either. So your body is actually comprehensive, So your body can capture everything. So why not a house can capture everything? So this is one house we have done a few years back. The main thing is the courtyard. We created the emptiness over there by putting something around the other way. We are not creating the house, actually creating the emptiness in the middle of the house. So we have created something to create the emptiness. So two things he says. One is the body. Human is a composition of two things. One is the body, the envelope, and another is the soul or thinking. Your thought process through the thinking. So your body actually the envelope collects or receives the thoughts and then it becomes alive. Otherwise, it's a dead body is nothing. So house can be like that. It can collects all the mother nature, the light, the rain, the fragrance, the anything else like you collect inside. So you have to know that how to collect all these things, how to open up to collect the sun, collect the rain, how to open up to collect the fragrance, and all these things. You need to be scientific for that to become poetic. So this house, the middle of the house is a water body. Is actually we call pond. Pond means swimming pond, and this is how it connects the outside also, and connects the sky, the sun, the light. And this is middle of the house. It's like a dinghy boat beside the ghat, and the silence of light actually, and the green patch of green is open up, nothing but the emptiness, the nothingness. So nothingness, but it's a place where the soul and the shell, they cohabit themselves in the middle. So let the soul come into your house and let it be and let it be. Thank you very much, Gita. I have finished my talk.
Thank you. You were brilliant, Rafiq. As usual, you built it up towards the end with all those fantastic sketches and images. I had a small question to initiate, if you don't mind.
Please.
So,
Yes, my dear.
yeah, thanks. So you began with your intervention into those community spaces that you were trying to revitalize, and it's like it's like you're crossing the line from architecture to activism in a sense. Why did you choose to do it? How essential is it for architects to also understand that they have a larger role to play? What was that one trigger that made you want to do these different things? You had a good practice going.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. I was very happy, making big houses and apartments, and I was feeling good that money is coming, not bad. I can pay my salaries, this stuff. But now I am suffering. Absolutely, it's true. But I think, we architects not servant of the rich people. One stage you'll understand that you are an artist, you have artistic senses, full of artistic senses that you can utilize and change the life of the people. You can see your neighbor, you can see your community people, your country people, they are suffering. Very simple reason that your children cannot go to the school by walking. They are losing, they're taking cars, they're doing accidents, and everything is mess ups is happening, surrounded by the happenings are surrounded by, and you can't do anything as a creative person. You are only serving few rich people. So that actually at this age, I thought it's not my job to serve the rich people. My job as an architect to serve my nation, serve my community, and I must work for them. I want to be architect of the people, not the rich people. So I started looking for this sort of project. I'm lucky that city corporation asked me to do this sort of project, and I found this is so interesting. You have to meet people, you have to understand their desire, their difficulties, their challenges, and you can challenge yourself how much you are creative. You can challenge yourself also to reach that area. So life becomes very interesting, doing the same repetitively old thing, designing houses and same detail or very interesting detail, costly details. I'm looking for innovations. I'm looking for how to use water, how to create green, how to create grass, how to invite children to come and play safely, how to invite mothers, not asking them but designing them and inviting them to come and play safely. So this is amazing actually intervention. I'm not intervening only the city, I'm intervening myself also, that how much I can go far.
Thank you very much, Architect Azam. This has been a very insightful presentation. I have a few questions lined up here, with your permission.
Yeah, please.
So, how much role did the architect's office or the architects play in galvanizing the community in taking ownership of the space? What
Yeah.
was the framework of your engagement, and how do you plan to sustain it?
Yes. uh, Public hearing is a very important aspect in architectural design, I think. I mean, social architecture, if you do. So we started actually hearing from them first. We went there. We faced the challenge. They don't trust us. I mean, they don't trust anybody going there and doing something. They always think they're doing something, and they'll leave it unsustainable. They'll not reflect their desire of the community. So they don't trust anybody, particularly city corporation, they don't trust. So the first challenge was to make them understand that we are trustworthy. So we started going to them on and on, on and on. We have spent time with them to make them understand that we are trying to understand their desire, their difficulties. So it took time to make them understand. We started doing small things like first cleaning the area. This is not our job actually. Even then, we suggested city corporation to clean the area, that they can see these people are coming and things are changing. So these are small activities we have done, and they started believing us. Then we started coming close and sharing ideas and doing sketches over there and showing with them, and formal public hearing with a big screen, like celebration, some food and coffees and things like that. So they started, celebrating the whole process after many years. This is how we engage themselves and engage ourselves. And then we started training the contractor. This is another big challenge. All the this sort of uh, time in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, definitely the contractors coming all political. They're all political. They are actually rehabilitation center. These are the rehabilitation center of the political partisans, the people. They get money out of it in the name of construction. So that happened here. We cannot stop that. What we have done, we started, promoting them, like, inspiring them, the contractors, talking to them that yes, you have the ability to break down things. You have the ability to kill people even. You have the ability to beat people. You are all political muscles, basically. But actually, you are not powerful because you cannot build. You think you are powerful, but you are not powerful. You don't have the capacity to build something. So, instigating them, so they become like, oh, we can build, actually we are powerful actually. So, using their power in their way to make them, inspired to build something. And we also train them how to save money, how to save, not waste. They are not educated, they want to be educated in construction, so they use money, in a funny way. They lost money, so they always try to grab money. So we train them how to use money, how to spend money, how to calculate, the construction, not doing wrong construction and breaking it again and again. So this is all the way we train them also. And then, the engage the committee in the initial stage. These are the people who will be maintaining these things, the open space or the mosque. They are the committee and source of money how to maintain things, the source of money. So the coffee shop, the library, the common halls, renting out things. So money is coming also. So what you need actually, you need a committee who can run the show. They need money, and the people who built it, they can proud of it that we have built it nicely. So they engage themselves. Anytime they require, they come and correct it, and the community is engaged, and architects are always, we are always engaged. So this is how, we become, rather than few teams facing each other as an enemy, we became friends and one team to create something better for the community. This is how we make it, possible, making and sustainable.
Thank you. So the impact of good interventions is often underrated. We saw the before and after pictures of your work, and your work believes in a bottoms-up approach, as we just discussed. Can you also tell us a few success stories of individual users about how design influenced their life, like at the individual level, and not just met the collective aspirations?
Individual level, we hardly we saw in Old Town many years that children or a person is coming out with guitars, coming out with some other instrument, musical instrument, or they're just singing without any instrument, or they are sharing together, sitting together, sharing things, in a nice way under the beautiful sun or artificial light. We hardly saw the hijabi women, the Muslim women, even the normal women, Muslim normal women who doesn't use hijab or burqa or things like that, they're coming and walking at 12 o'clock in the, midnight, or 1 o'clock in the early morning. Somebody's walking. I have seen myself, because few days I went to see and have a cup of coffee with a couple of my friends, and I have seen 1 o'clock in the morning, 1.5 o'clock in the morning, women walking with burqa. And this is amazing. So individually, you can see a lot of people coming out their own agenda. They're walking, or coffee, or music, or even small children, they're playing in the play lot. We have a small play lot everywhere. Everywhere there's small equipment for the children play. So these are all the individuals you can see they're coming out who we thought they don't exist in the community. So they're all coming out. That's the beautiful thing we have seen.
Thank you. We have the next question from Ravi Teja, who has a very interesting backdrop right now to his video. He says, "Sir, I know about about the space design for the physically handicapped people. Did you take into account universal design aspects in all the public spaces that you design?"
Absolutely, absolutely. But we have a very interesting, funny challenge. I don't know, people are becoming so desperate. Traffic is a very big problem. Anytime you see they use the footpath, the motorbikes, the biker basically, I don't know what happened. Bikers always they try to use the footpath, and we have started using the ramps to enter for the, wheelchair person, or differently able people, so they can go to the other side and can have a ramp also. They can go, because every open space we have designed in a way that anybody walking from one side of the city, and they can go through the park or the field and the walkway to the other side of the city, and they can end their journey. It's not something they came to the park for any reason. They're just crossing it to go to their home or the office or the school. But the wheelchair person, we had a big dilemma that if we put it like that, one side ramp, the other side ramp, the motorcycle will come and destroy the whole area. So all the discussions and protect, negativity coming out from all the surroundings and the city corporation. Finally, we end up, ramp is there, so one side, they are coming here and they cannot just go to the other side. They have to enjoy the park or the playground, and they come out from this same ramp, which is very disturbing for me. I'm so disappointed, and still I'm trying to make it happen. We are watching actually that Is it happening that motorcycle is trying to do so? I think people will not do that. Once they see that things are really happening beautifully, they have also senses. I'm sure they have also senses. They will not do it. So next time we are trying to do is they can also cross the wheelchair, the other side. But now they can come and enjoy everything possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Megha from MSA Mysore also asked another question. How do you engage the community to make a space sustainable? So all these different spaces that we saw in your projects, were there any particular green principles or sustainability principles taken into account, and if the community was part of making those decisions?
I didn't get your point very clearly. Can you repeat
Uh,
it?
So how do you engage the community to make a space sustainable?
Hmm.
I think what she means that while you were designing all these different spaces for the community, were any green principles or sustainability in terms of
Okay.
material, in terms of energy, etc., taken into account?
Yeah, I'm practicing almost like 30 years, and when I started talking about green architecture, not because based on the ticking the international standard of making it green by papers or by ticking by numbers. I didn't know that time, and I was even now not interested. I came up with, I'm as a Bangladeshi, is a land of water and green. I wanted to create always like green based on our observation and the way we sustain many thousand years with the green. That's the spirit of my green actually. Here is similar actually. The green, the grass we have created, as internationally it's happened, like a slope. In the middle is is sort of vertex, and then slope going the other sides. All the water coming from the rain is going, runoff is going, some of the water is actually penetrating towards the ground to recharge the groundwater and collect the excessive water in the trench and using it in a small filter when you can use it. This, so the water is sustainable here, and the green is sustainable because green is not sustainable when the excess water coming and green cannot accept it. So when the green is lush and sustaining, that's sustainable. All the walkway we have created, so just a simple locally produced cement and the sand and the coarse aggregate and cast precast, and simply we brought it and put there simply at that site. And rest everything is collected from the community, from the local market, nothing coming from the outside. So carbon footprint is very less. We planted trees, number of trees, colorful trees, 6 season trees, red flower and yellow flower, all sort of trees are there, and fruit trees are there, small fruits like Burmese apple, or the sapota. It comes like a star fruit. It comes like hundreds in one tree. So those are the tree we have selected, which creates 1,000 fruits, 200, 500 fruits. These are the things, and birds also can come and eat. So it becomes sustainable. Birds coming, butterfly coming, children coming, old people coming, wheelchair coming, everybody coming. Green is sustaining. What else? So international ticking mark, I don't know. I never did it. That how much grade I should be graded. We should be graded, but I think we have done sustainability. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think there were a couple of questions from PMCA. I'll just say them out aloud.
Okay.
What is the impact of placemaking on designing urban public places? And the next one is how to effectively design when spaces are difficult to reach.
I couldn't, the broken voice, I couldn't hear properly. Can you repeat again these two questions?
Yeah, the first one is what is the impact of placemaking on designing urban public places?
Hmm. Okay.
And
Placement.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the next one is how to effectively design when many places are difficult to reach. So I believe these are kind of interlinked and you could put together.
Okay.
When it is hard to access, when the places are hard to access, how to solve it? Like we have that Russell Bar
Right,
to
right,
make it
right.
accessible.
public place making is means public can access there easily. This is the biggest problem is happening. I think most of this Asian, particularly South Asian world, if you see the public place means is protected. In any way is protected. Either the grill is there or the bird were there or the signboard is there, is open from 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. Something telling people that you cannot enter. There is rules and regulations to enter the public place. When you put condition entering the public space, then people are actually afraid or they don't feel inspired to go there because there's a rules and regulations there. How you claim this is my city? When I say this is Dhaka is my city or Mysore is my city, what belongs to you? The house, not a single house belongs to you except your father's house or your parents' house or something like that. Every office you need permission. Even school, if you are not a student, you cannot enter to the school. You have an ID card. You need an ID card. So you are actually restricted in many ways to enter anywhere, any part of the city. So how come you claim that it is my city? I'm proud of Kolkata. I'm proud of Delhi. So there must be spaces where you can go anytime, 24/7, anytime with pride and can claim this is my city, my place. So this is why I call this is my Delhi, my Dhaka, my Kolkata. So we have lost that. So accessibility is very, very important. So we must architects think of that to create spaces, very prominent spaces in the city, which are completely open and round the clock open. And there are facilities like we can go there safely with family, without family, and every possible senses. So we have created, we are trying to create it like that. And that's why, we dismantle the first thing, all the walls around. There's no wall, no language of telling people that you are not respected, you are not trusted. I think this is how we should proceed with trust and respect. How far we can go with this trust and this respect? In our country, not only high wall, they put a be aware of dog sign. So my dog will bite you. What a ugly language we are using. In USA or Europe, they are more developed country. They're more uncivilized actually. They put like guns response. They don't trust you, they'll kill you from their house, from the window, they'll shoot you actually. And there's a law, nothing will happen to them. That's the law actually of the country. So how much you're becoming civilized, actually you're becoming more and more uncivilized. How come you go far like this with a gun or the AK-47 rifle or the cannon you'll carry from the rooftop to tell people that I don't trust you? The only option, you reverse the whole thing and tell people I respect you, I trust you, and you should also trust me and respect me. This is how we can develop our community beautiful, lovable, and really really cohesive. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Azam.
Yes.
If any of the colleges have questions, you can unmute yourself and speak in, or you can even type in. So, are there any other questions?
Rafiq bhai, good afternoon. This is your friend Abhishek from Kolkata.
Abhishek, how are you?
I am fine, Dada. How are you
Abhishek,
doing?
I think there's a connection issue. We can't hear you clearly.
Yeah, I just have a small question to ask. Like it was one part of the question was already regarding how do you sustain these public projects, professionally. Like do you cross subsidize this kind of social practice or with your other practices, or how do you actually manage to put in the resources to do these public works?
Yeah, this is really really a big thing for us, because when I started, I thought, few people thought that it is not a job of few architects to solve the problem of a city. So invited almost 70 architects and non-architects also. I mean the poet and philosophers or urban planners, sort of, not much, but few people coming from those sectors, and most people coming from architects, young architects also, because who has done landscape design, who has done intervention, little bit of the city somewhere. So we collected information from the universities, who are the students or the architects have done this sort of projects. So interviewed them also, we have our meetings in our office on and on to select them. So we finally came up 70, almost like people, architects and other people together started working. But the fee from the city corporation is never is a big fee. The government rules are very funny, the lowest fee sort of thing, always lowest. You give highest and pay lowest. Anyway, we got the fee, we distributed, whatever distributed, we actually completely lost the money, the whole process. So nowadays I was struggling giving salary to my office sometime, but still I don't give up my hope. I really working hard, more harder. Nowadays I don't give lectures. Geeta, if you remember, my friend Geeta is here. She saw me giving lecture here and there in India, probably every month 2-3 lectures. But last 2 years probably I'm not coming in India even. I'm not giving lectures anywhere, any part of the world. I refuse lectures nowadays because it will destroy my city, probably my work. I want to engage myself properly. So I'm working more and more project to sustain my office, and I'm giving more and more time, almost without money, my city. I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy for that, because if I don't know how to struggle, then I cannot be creative. That I believe.
Thank you, Dada.
I'm glad you agreed to speak here, because I think you're going to be influencing a lot of young minds here to probably follow at least some bits of your path.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Geeta.
So we have a few questions coming in from Symbiosis. I would request you to unmute Symbiosis School and just take the questions directly to Rafiq sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Symbiosis School, are you here?
Can I ask a question from GZS Bathinda?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So the question is that one of the student is looking to answer that since Dhaka receives huge amount of rainfall, so have sir any time thought to develop a projects like Venice? And in continuation to that, is global warming also contributing to the rise in water logging issues in Dhaka?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, of course. End of the day, Dhaka, the migration, climate migration will be the one of the challenging part in coming days, basically. South of Dhaka, I mean, south of Bangladesh, already some of the places is actually coming under water, saline water. And, we need to learn probably how to sustain on water. Without water, probably is one thing. But Bangladesh already invented rice, which can come out from the water, and saline water, which is a fantastic innovation happen in our country. So we are a little bit of, at least we're not dying probably out of food, some extent. And we know Bangladesh, when the flood comes, we can sustain. We know how to use boat. We know how to float the house. We can stay in the boat. So we need to change our lifestyle. That's why our design nowadays, we are promoting more and more, utilize the water. One way, use the water, put it into your body and into your belly. This is a big storage of water. Your body is 75% water. You drink water every day. It's a good amount of water you drink actually. So all this, we have a huge amount of people. If they drink the water, clean water, if you can give them, they can drink the water. So huge amount of water will be properly occupied, rather than here and there and creating mosquitoes and all, waterborne diseases. So we must understand water. Water, for the students, I would like to share, do you know that 70% of water created, on earth is only maximum 2% water is drinkable. There's no drinkable water around. There's the third world war. So 2% drinkable water. And then the other water, the coming saline water, we need to learn that how to grow foods over there, how to grow trees. We need to train our trees. Gradually, the tree can also sustain. There's a whole lot of things need to be done here in terms of climate change. Yeah. I hope the served the answer.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And I have got an opportunity to meet you during zonal ASA at IIT Badal in Punjab a few months back also.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Thanks on
inviting me.
behalf of Gyani Jail Singh College, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
2 more questions, right, Nikita?
Yeah, so I have unmuted Symbiosis. Please go ahead and ask your question. If not, I'll just read it out.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions.
Please go ahead. I can't hear properly.
Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. It was a wonderful presentation given.
Thank you.
My question was, in construction, we take into consideration that a building should not be constructed to any nearby plant because there are reasons like penetration of moisture.
I cannot hear properly. Can you repeat it?
Can I read it out? I think there's a connection issue. Symbiosis, do you mind if we read it out for you? Yeah. Nikita, you want to do that?
Yeah. So in construction, we take into consideration that a building should not be constructed to a nearby plant or water body because of reasons like penetration of moisture into the wall, which can damage the building itself. So how do you tackle this while designing your buildings?
I think that's why I was talking about architecture is a composition of science and art, both. Actually, science is something. Technology is, of course, it's a big science. So beside the water, you can build. It's not prohibited that you cannot build. It needs extraordinary, extra support. Like the coverage of the concrete needs to be increased. And the sliding of the earth is considerable there. So it's all about the dealing with the things beneath the earth, how you're going to handle. So there are a lot of engineering is there. You don't need to, definitely away from the water. If you need to be away from the water, that's social issue. Whether you should build by destroying the water, or it might damage the water collection of the rain. These are the serious issue need to be considered. But technologically, this is of course possible. You can build into the water also, in the middle of the water also. So it's not a big issue. It's all technology.
Yes, very fair. NCA Rawalpindi, please and ask your question.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
It's Sunera here from National College of Arts.
Oh, I went there once or twice. I don't remember, but I went there. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. I would like to ask a question. My question is it necessary to always let people in? There can be issues which we can resolve by creating some boundaries.
It's up to you. I'm not promoting any philosophy here, but in Dhaka, the problem was all the open spaces was problematic, and nobody could solve that. So we actually did our research, and I was actually promoting for last 25 years that creating the threshold space between the owned house and the street, and in between connecting space, how we can connect each other. So here where I used my old philosophy and we resolved the problem. Actually, it doesn't mean that you can resolve the problem the same way. In your context, your history, you have to justify, you have to look back, you have to look forward, and everything you do, and then you come up a solution which can resolve even with the boundary wall. We don't know. There is no limitations.
And I also had another question.
Yeah.
Are urban interventions bound to scale? Like, are they scale oriented? Are they supposed to be huge?
No, I didn't get you. What
Scale of the urban intervention. Can they become larger, and can they be at your scale, the smaller scale as well?
I mean, architecture, they don't have scale actually. Architecture is architecture. It's maybe a one single room.
I'm, I
Yeah.
meant to say, if we are introducing a small intervention and it's making a huge impact, can we call it an urban intervention?
Absolutely, absolutely. The definition of things, also you can define actually. It's not necessary that other people define your definition. You can do intervention as small as possible, and you can call it urban intervention. Who is going to decide that? The world has changed nowadays. Postmodern world has changed. There is no certain definition for certain things. You can define your work actually. You have the ability to do so. So I don't think if you put a bench, a beautiful bench in a beautiful and appropriate place, you know, and then you can find after 25 years, somebody was sitting there, a boy was sitting there and thinking and become like Einstein. So that bench actually can change the whole world. So why not telling it urban intervention? Why are so mean actually? We shouldn't be mean like that. Anything can be intervention. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Question.
we'll take one last question before we say our thanks. Rama, are you here?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. So, beautiful, lovely presentation, Architect Azam. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I was just struck by the amazing philosophy that flows through the buildings that you have made. And it almost touches your heart when you look at the spaces. And you constantly talk about buildings being connected with the body and mind intrinsically.
Yeah.
So my question is for students, when they're designing in their classrooms, in their studios, on paper, how can they best get this connection of the mind-body space? Because they are working with a mental space. How do they get this philosophy in the designs that they're doing, sitting inside their studios? What would
Uh,
your advice be to students?
I assume you teach actually or you student.
I used to teach. I was
Okay.
right now. I'm not currently teaching,
Okay.
but
He's part
Anyway.
of our team, Rafiq.
I'm part of a team.
She is teaching.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
No, the reason I am asking it because I think education pedagogy has a big role in architecture. Understanding architecture is a bit difficult actually. If you want to define a poet or a singer or a filmmaker, you immediately connects the profession. The singer sings, poet writes poetry, a poem, things like that. But if you ask what is an architect, who is an architect, it's very difficult to answer who is an architect, whether he's a writer or he's a draftsman or what. It's very difficult. So Hindu scripture, I think one of the scriptures says architect is somebody who is the most knowledgeable person in the community. So architecture is based on knowledge. So how the students will become knowledgeable, that's important. The whole pedagogy is to make them knowledgeable so they can understand what they are doing, why they are doing actually. So something is like a house design. They don't know what is house, what does it mean actually, what is house, what is performance. And house is not a physical place actually, is also a place of your mind, of your growth, of your memory, of your desire, flourishment of desire, connecting the history, creating the memories. So many things are there which is non-physical. So this is how they should think. So teachers needs to inspire them to think whatever they do. A graveyard or airport. What is the airport? What is graveyard? So it's all about thinking, how you think. So it's important your context, your history, your philosophers, how they define your country, your locality, a particular function. So every class should have philosophical issues to discuss first before starting anything. So that will enable them to start thinking. So that thinking can be computer related, whatever they think, they will they'll create their own route. So our philosopher like Lalon Fakir or Hasan Raja or Rabindranath Tagore or Jagadish Chandra Bosu, these are the people, scientists, poet, and Fakir. all the people inspired us. So your children can be inspired by different people or technologies, but they need to think. They need to think.
Thank you so much, Architect Azam. And we can see that you bring this philosophy of thought through a different medium of expression through your beautiful sketches and watercolors, and that really connects. And I think for students also, sketching and using different mediums of expressions to get that philosophy would be, in that sense, very important.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, even though we are receiving a few more questions, but we are short on time, so I think it's time to close. And I think Rama's question answer was the perfect way of, ending the question answer round. With this, I'll leave the mic to Geeta to say her vote of thanks, and then we'll just say bye-bye. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nikita. Thank you,
Nikita.
for accepting our invitation. This has been a truly enriching experience. I urge our audience here to visit our website and check out more offerings from ASEG. We have something to give you an edge in thesis, in introduction to architectural softwares, environmental tools, research and heritage studies, and much more. We had over 30 institutes participating today with more than 1,200 students, faculty, professionals participating in this broadcast.
My God.
Yeah, we thank you all for coming on board and broadcasting the lecture at your college. I know there are a lot of other questions that came in. We could send them to Rafiq ji and ask him to respond, and we can put it up on the discussion board or email it to you, email the responses to you. I'd like to name the colleges because we'll know where all they are from. Reva University, Bangalore, Mysore School of Architecture, Sehgad College of Architecture, Pune, Shivaji Maratha College of Architecture, Pune, Symbiosis College of Architecture, Pune, School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, Gyani Zail Singh College of Engineering and Technology, Bathinda, Pilu Modi College of Architecture, Cuttack, Sharda University, Greater Noida, Integral University, Lucknow, Amity School of Architecture and Planning, Kolkata, National College of Arts, Rawalpindi, NFC Institute of Engineering and Technology, Multan, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow, Amity School of Architecture and Planning, Jaipur, D.Y. Patil School, College of Architecture, Pune, PVP College of Architecture, Pune, City School of Architecture, Colombo, MNIT, Jaipur, CAD, Chennai, MN Consultants, One Design Solutions, Pillai College of Architecture, Panvel, Allana College of Architecture, Pune, SJB College of Architecture, Bengaluru, Government Engineering College, Thrissur in Kerala, Angan Architects, AOA Arcom, Andhra University in Vizag, and BVP Mumbai. That was our audience today, and I think really delighted. I think it's one of our largest audiences, Rafiq. And I'm so glad you spoke to them.
You have done, your team has done amazing connections. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
I haven't lectured this amount of people together.
Spread the good word for us, and let's make more magic happen.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Hello.